Hey everyone, how's it going? Hi everybody. Hey everyone, how's it going? Oh, let me make sure I switch these so that you guys can hear me. Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Just figured I'd talk about a few things. I've been, sorry y'all, just making sure. I'm away from people, there's no one on the street, so I'm just taking some time to get some fresh air while we collect ourselves in the midst of all of this. But, I've been really reflecting a lot about this moment because as everyone knows, there's a lot going on, and I just kind of wanted the opportunity to connect with you all. But one of the things that I've really been thinking about is folks who call, who are talking about this unrest. And if you are calling for an end to this unrest, and if you are calling for an end to all of this, but you are not calling for the end of the conditions that created the unrest, you are a hypocrite. If you don't want to if you're trying to call for the end of unrest, but you don't believe healthcare is a human right, if you're afraid to say Black Lives Matter, if you're too scared to call out police brutality, then you aren't asking for an end of unrest. You are asking for injustice to continue and for your people to continue to endure the violence of poverty, the violence of a lack of housing access, the violence of police brutality, and not say a damn thing. That's what you're asking for. So if you're out here calling for the end of unrest, then you better be calling for healthcare as a human right. You better be calling for accountability in our policing. You better be supporting community review boards. You better be supporting, the end of housing discrimination. You better be standing up to for-profit real estate developers that are intimidating people and trying to evict them from their homes. That's what you better be calling for. Because if you don't call for those things and you're asking for the end of unrest, all you're asking for is the continuation of quiet oppression. So if you want the end of unrest, then you should be asking for measures that actually liberate people in their lives from the oppression of economic and social inequity. And those are just some of my thoughts because, I just can't. I can't with folks that are saying we need to stop this unrest, we need to stop violence, as though charging someone $1,000 a month for insulin that they need to survive isn't violent. That is violent. And allowing people to die in these systems is just wrong. So, the way that we end this and the way that we move through this is by establishing justice. And that is the ultimate way of creating peace and prosperity. And so, that's just the thing that I want us to really focus on is what is your holistic view of this moment? And this is not to condone violence. This is not to condone any of that. But it is also to say, if you were silent on these issues until property got damaged, if you didn't feel urgency about these issues until property got damaged, we have to really ask ourselves the question as to why so many people were okay ignoring these problems until a window got broken. Why does it take that for people to pay attention? Because it shouldn't. And what we need is a commitment to solving these problems without needing to get that far. And when our society does that, we will be in a better place. And we can start today. So much of these problems and so much of this unrest could have been prevented if this officer was just arrested for the on-camera murder that he had committed. But because there was so much resistance, to the idea of that accountability, this situation got out of control. And so instead of just telling people to go back to normal, let's create a new world, one where all people are held to the same standard of the rule of law. Sorry, I'm passing by some folks. One where people are, where the justice that a person gets for their crimes is not dependent on who they work for or how much money they have, but by the actual deed that was done. That is what justice looks like. And so I just wanted to leave you all with that quick thought. And I thank you all for paying attention. And I thank you all for trying to work for the true peace, which is a just society. Thank you so much.